Hello. With this release, we introduced several new temporal analysis and visualization capabilities. Today, we're going to be looking at a financial data set of Bitcoin prices. And this was taken from the website shown here. You'll notice that I have a date field. I want to take the date and the opening price and put it into the time series card. We can see that data exists back to the year 2014, and as well, around 2017 and 2018 is when it really took off. Data is shown and aggregated and bucketed at the month level here. What's new with this release is that when you zoom in and pan, the data is rebucketed. And depending on your zoom level and the level of data, you'll either see individual day points or perhaps week, or a couple days in this case. This timeline, of course, you can pan and see that level of detail across the entirety. One thing that I might want to do is show somewhat of a trend line. And this is possible with moving average. Moving average was just recently introduced as well, and I have complete control over that, including the number of days, whether that will be calculated on the front end or back end. For the sake of my analysis, I'm going to choose a 2-month time window, 30 days on the front, 30 days on the back, and I'm going to stick with the average. Now you'll notice that not only does this add that trend line to the chart itself, but the data is written and available to me to use wherever I like. So we can now see how this is smoother and gives us more of a generality of the trend. Something that we commonly saw with the COVID charts and visualizations recently. We also recently added temporal decomposition, or this is also more technically known as STL, seasonal and trend decomposition using LOS. This is going to break it out into 3 timelines. I'm going to go ahead and choose the same opening price that we had used earlier. Optionally, I can run forecast within this, but I'm going to run that after the fact so that we can examine these individually. These are those 3 different timelines on the same axis that I was referring to. At the top, we have a seasonal variation, and this could be due to things like weather, maybe holidays, or any periodic fluctuations. In this case, it seems that quite frequently and repetitively, the price is pretty low around December, but then it jumps at the beginning of the year. Look at that, December, and then it jumps again around January and February. Same thing within 2020. Interesting pattern there. And the second timeline is a smooth version of the source data. It basically shows a broad pattern without minor fluctuations. And this helps to identify any key change in direction or like a turning point. And clearly, there's something happened right here. It was a turning point. At the bottom, this is where our remainder values are. And these are basically the exciting leftover parts. It's a result of subtracting the trend from the seasonal component. And these help us to understand any outliers or anomalies. Excuse me. Similar to moving average, where that data was part of the original data set, the STL or temporal decomposition creates a new data set. And we even have things in here like the seasonally adjusted values. So very powerful to reuse this content. Let's go ahead and take a look at yet another tool called forecasting. And this was recently added, and it allows us to project what values may be like in the future. Okay, so here we can see not only the projected trend line taken from when our data stopped being collected. This is that line we see here. But also, we're showing the 80% prediction interval and 95% prediction interval Of course, that data and more is available for us to reuse however we see fit. All right. So in summary, ArcGIS Insights has several new temporal analysis and visualization tools available with more bucketing and more detail on that timeline, moving average, temporal decomposition, and forecasting. Thanks for watching.